Hey man, say man, what it do, still with the camp sound like a little big boss. K-Pole talk boxing. Fuck my soliloquy, maybe tough times don't last. Good people do it on off yourself, cut them in the foul line, maybe you matter. Peep game. 84's on Will Swain. We cluster out, we're talking about that boxing. I told y'all earlier in the week, I said, man, me and Coach B gonna drop a vid soon. Pause. Big pause on that. Um, but before I get into the main entree, the main dish, gotta introduce our second host, future Hall of Famer, coach and legend, brother on the hustle, aka Coach B. Let them know how you doing, man.
Hey, what it is, folks? Long time no talk, you feel me? But it is what it is. Y'all know what it is. We clutched up, we clutched out. Y'all know we're here to talk about it, just like Capo said. But y'all know what I'm finna tell y'all. Ain't nothing changed. Hey, every time God wake you up, he put breath in your body, get up and do what you gotta do. Which means take care of you, take care of the fam. Don't let nobody steer you away from that. But with all that being said, let's get straight to it. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to Capo. Go ahead, continue the show, and let's let them know how we flow.
Already. So, boxing right now, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure Coach can agree with me, but Coach is gonna give his insight in a minute. It's not in a good place, right? We don't have anybody else to pass the torch to that can take over the sport or get the casual fan to gravitate um to go want to watch a fight or to want to go attend a fight, or want to know more about boxing, right? Back in the days, we had those stars. We had the Floyds, the De La Hoyas, and the list goes on. So my question to you, Coach, is there anybody of today or in the future who can have that, I would say, grip on boxing that you see in your mind, current or future, that could be the face of the sport and really take hold of it? Some people saying it's Shakur, but I disagree with that. But I'm gonna let you cook. Don't do your thing.
Uh, that's a tough ask for anybody, whether you're a casual or a real boxing head. A lot of people would revert to a Shakur. It's a face they've seen, they can count on. They know he's going to win a fight, so it's easy to kind of gravitate towards a Shakur. They know he gonna get in there, and if he feel like it's trouble in the water, he gonna move around. He gonna box a little bit. He gonna make somebody miss, his opposition miss, and he can win a fight by outpointing. So it's an easy out. Let's put it like that. If you say Shakur, but if we really, were to dissect the landscape of the professional ranks of boxing, it's really, we really have nobody to lean on. It's really a wide open field right now when it comes to sport of boxing. We have a plethora of guys we can go watch and say, man, this guy has the potential to be great. But in the back of our mind, it's like, can he be great? But that comes within the realm of, you got to share that same subject I just spoke on with how much are the casual fans or the real boxing heads really afraid to be wrong. And that's kind of where the landscape of boxing is. It's like, I want to pick this guy, but if he loses, what would that make me look like? It don't matter. It depends on who he's losing to. But at the same time, if you're rolling with a guy, casual or a real live boxing fan, if you're rolling with a guy that's fighting the elite of the elite, the top of the top, the peak of the food chain, then who cares if you right or wrong? Who cares if that fighter loses? If you're gonna if you're gonna roll with a fighter, and this fighter is, the top, the cream of the crop, and he loses, you want him to lose to somebody else that's the cream of the crop. And right now, it's so much confusion in the sport of boxing. Nobody really knows who to roll with. So again, like I said, it's easy to roll with the Shakur Stevenson pick because it's like I said before, you know, in troubled water, he's good at hit and not getting hit, whether it's a low output from him and a high output from his opposition. It's easy to roll with a Shakur Stevenson. But outside of Shakur Stevenson, outside of a Terrence Crawford, outside of a Tank Davis, if you roll with anybody else, Well, even let me not even leave it like that. Let's speak about our Mexican fighters, our Hispanic fighters. David Benavidez, you got Xander Zayas, Virgil Ortiz, and the list goes on with black fighters, Hispanic fighters, even some of the European fighters. It's like if you roll outside of that group of names, it kind of gets tricky for people. So the landscape of boxing is tricky. I'm not going to say we don't have anybody, but I don't think we're diving deep enough. Pause, no freaky is in full effect at this point. I don't think we're diving deep enough into the professional ranks of boxing to actually see who's there for the taking. We just going with the names we've seen from the past, and we spoke on this before. I can't wait until this old wave of fighters die off and the newer fighters that has been around a few fights, but nobody knows because you still got your Tanks, you got your Terrence, you got your David Benavidez, you got your Inoues, you got your Usyks, and so forth. Bivol, Canelo, you got those names, Shakur, Tank, and the list goes on, like I said. But nobody's really trying to study outside of those names that I mentioned, or even guys that's, in acquaintance with those names. So it seems like the sport of boxing really has nobody to look to. But all in all, if you go beyond those names I mentioned and the elite guys that's left over from, to me, I say old school, because once you've been around in the sport, 7+ years and you've been dominating, you kind of old school. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. The boxing is a sport where it's kind of like not for long. NFL, not for long. You ain't got too much time at the top. Somebody coming, or if not somebody coming, it's another elite waiting to take you out, and they're gonna eventually take you out, unless you like Floyd or somebody else like that. But I can't wait until this old wave dies off. Some of these guys, I hate to see them gone, but at the same time, it's like we need them to get out of the way so even the casuals can start to evolve into real boxing heads. And some of the old boxing heads can kind of get with the new folks that are coming along becoming boxing heads. And we can kind of mesh together and start seeing and operating together as a whole like boxing used to start promoting the fights we actually need to see. Not what we want to see, the fights we need to see to say, okay, this guy is the future. This guy is the star. This fighter is what we've been missing. But the true landscape of boxing is not going to reveal itself until the old wave dies off. And I said this before. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back over to you, and you can, kind of input what you want to input on it. But like I said, the true core, the true nucleus of the sport right now is kind of wrapped up in the outer layer of these last little elite fighters that's left, these last little few old school pound for pound fighters. Once they kind of peel off and start fading to black, we'll start being able to see these new future stars. But I'm not going to say, again, to answer your question directly, I'm not going to say there's nobody to lean on or there's nobody to turn to, because we just kind of blinded by the now and we can't see the future. So I'm going to leave it at that. And if you got anything to add to that, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think that you're 100% right. But I also think it's also there was a big change in boxing, right? And what do I mean? Showtime boxing went away. HBO boxing went away. We're now into the streaming, right? So you got a lot of guys or networks that are streaming services now. So, HBO can kind of build up fighters and, kind of do it like a kind of passing the torch type thing, right? Whereas now, they don't have that anymore because, there's no network to kind of build up a fighter, right? So that whole building up a fighter stage is over with. It's kind of like now it's like the Wild West out here now, right? So I do believe that we are blinded by the current fighters, right? I do think there's some young guys that do got some charisma that could, potentially grow into something. Kamel Moats, he's a very talented fighter. He's very vocal, right? He's learning who he is, so he potentially has that potential. Dula Mason. Now, Dula Mason is a different type of cat. He ain't gonna talk, but I do think he can have that appeal just fighting wise. You know what I mean? He gonna sell. You know what I mean? And the list goes on. You know what I mean? There are guys, there's this guy that I like Raymond Ford. I think Raymond Ford, he he,
Hmm.
he has the potential to, you know, uh, be that next guy as well. So there are other guys that are coming up the ranks that could have that potential. They just got to grow into who they are as a man. They got to grow into who they are as a fighter and develop that charisma and basically uh, get that support from streaming service, and a promotional company to really push them. So you know,
Right.
once these other guys kind of fade out, retire, we will be going into another realm of where these young guys will be able to take the sport over. So,
Hey man, say man, we reached the end of the podcast. Y'all continue to support us on this journey. This is Genesis. I told y'all this is the beginning. This is only part one. I've chopped and screwed this mug up into many different versions. This is an hour long episode, but we want to give y'all, not too much at a time. We really spend a lot of time recording this, so y'all continue to support us, man. Tell everybody, and remember, we clustered, we clustered. You know what we're talking about already.